right way to breathe? Am I bad at breathing? What's a diaphragm?
Let's talk about breathing. If you're an experienced singer, you may have been told countless confusing and sometimes contradicting information about how to breathe properly when singing. If you're a beginner, you may have come across content that says, breath is the most important thing to work on. So what is the right answer? Hi, I'm Lydia Flock and I'm the founder of Flockstars. Welcome to part 2 of my video series, Understanding the Voice. It wasn't until I started doing my own research that I figured out, oh, I do know how to breathe, and this is all way more simple than everything I'd learned before had made it seem. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the nuggets of breathing wisdom that make breathing easy to understand and something anyone can do for efficient speech or singing. Before I get into everything, I'd like to first highlight that breathing is not the most important part of voice. It is important, but what's happening in the larynx up here is just as important to make sound as what's happening with breathing below. You need both to make sound, so they're both important. Now, let's get into the core concepts of respiratory anatomy and physiology, aka what's happening in the body when you breathe. The first core concept is that air moves from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure. And what this means in terms of breathing is that when we breathe in, we create more space in the body for that air to come in, so the pressure in the lungs drops. So now the pressure in the lungs is lower than the pressure of the outside world. So naturally, air from the outside world flows into the lungs, so we inhale to balance that pressure. The second core concept is that the main muscles used for inhalation or breathing in are your diaphragm and your intercostal muscles. So the diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle. It kind of looks maybe like a parachute. And when you breathe in, the diaphragm flattens out from parachute to plate. And the reason why it does this is because it's getting out of the way, making more space for the lungs to fill with air. And when it flattens to plate, it's actually contracting. Big note, you cannot actually feel your diaphragm moving. What you can feel is your belly move out, but this is because your organs are also moving out of the way to make space for air. Now, the intercostal muscles are the muscles in between your ribs. And the intercostal muscles are active in inhalation because they are keeping the ribs expanded, keeping space for the air. The secondary muscles involved in inhalation, or the sidekick muscles, are your shoulders, neck, and back. It's good to know that though these sidekick muscles are important, too much focus on them can create extra tension in the vocal tract that we just don't really need. That's when you see this kind of breath. A lot of tension in the shoulders, neck, and back. Natural inhalation takes about a second. The third concept is that the exhalation can either be passive or active. In passive exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes from its plate shape back up to the parachute shape, and the intercostal muscles also relax. As our body changes shape, the pressure in the lungs now becomes higher than the pressure of the outside world. So the air in our body flows out. So we exhale, we breathe out to balance the pressure again. When we actively breathe out, we're controlling the air by slowing down the rate at which the air is leaving our lungs. So speaking, singing, even coughing are forms of active exhalation. Active exhalation in the body happens when we use our abdominal muscles to help control the flow of air. This might seem counterintuitive, but as we engage our abdominal muscles when we breathe out, we're maintaining the higher pressure in the lungs for a much longer time. So we're slowing down the relaxation process of the diaphragm and the intercostal muscles. Passive exhalation takes about 2 seconds, double the inhale, whereas active exhalation can be slowed so much that it's 20 to 30 times longer than the inhale, or 20 to 30 seconds. There are 9 muscles that help with active exhalation, but the prime mover is a muscle called your transversus abdominus, and this fella is your best friend. This muscle is the deepest layer of your abdominal muscles and is the first to activate in supported airflow and efficient use of voice. its muscle fibers are actually connected to the diaphragm, so it's no wonder that it has a big impact on your exhale. So that's your basic overview of the breathing process. To review, the diaphragm is mainly responsible for the inhale, and the transversus abdominus is mainly responsible for an active exhale. It's all based on pressure, flow, and balance. And it's a really natural process. You've been breathing all your life, so you do know what to do. The main thing for efficient voice is learning to develop flexibility in controlling that active exhale. This is an area that can be quite confusing, so I'm planning to do a few more videos on breathing and managing active exhalation, but I hope this one helped you understand what's happening in your body when you breathe in and out. If you'd like to learn more, have any questions, or you want to book a voice lesson, please email me, lydia@flockstars.com, or visit the website flockstars.com. Till next time.